The second Winnie the Pooh coin has come out, but it has some major production quality issues. Big ding on the back of the coin here near the P of 50 pence. And what looks like almost a milk smear here on the front. Not good quality control from the Royal Mint. And in today's video, we're going to talk about this coin, the design, but more importantly, why and how the Royal Mint have got it so wrong on their quality control. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a very warm welcome to you all joining us for this week's edition of In Focus Friday, the show where we take a good close look at cool things made of silver or gold. This week we are going to be checking in with the second in the Winnie the Pooh coin series, the Christopher Robin. But as you've probably seen from the title and intro clip of this video, there are quality control issues, some quite significant ones as well, and that's a bitter disappointment, let me tell you. It really is. For anybody who gets a bad coin from anywhere, it's always a disappointment, but especially so when it's on a proof coin. This is meant to be a perfect specimen of a coin, so to have issues is a bit of a disappointment. Now, in today's video, I do want to kind of separate the kind of coin review, talking about it as a coin and the quality control issues. They are linked, of course, but I think the quality control side of things needs to be addressed separately, because I do have constructive feedback and criticism to levy against the Royal Mint, because it's not the first time that I've received a proof coin with imperfections, with issues, and it's, as I said, bitterly disappointing when it happens. And I'd say across my entire lifetime of buying proof coins from the Royal Mint, about a third have come with issues, and then you send them back for replacements or refunds. So there are definitely things to address and talk about. I also just want to reinforce that this is my own coin. I've bought this for myself. I did not get sent it by the Royal Mint. We have done videos in the past where the Royal Mint have sent us items to review and to showcase. This is not one of those occasions, so regardless, even if it was, I'd still be talking about the exact same things and criticising the Royal Mint for their quality control. I think it's only right to do so, so please bear that in mind. So let's crack on first bit then with the review of the coin, what it's all about, and then we'll talk about quality control and some of my thoughts and opinions on that subject. So it comes supplied in this inner cardboard box. There was a nice sturdy outer cardboard box, so everything was protected in shipment, which is always very, very good. I have criticised the Royal Mint in the past on some of their older shipping practices. This one is good. The outer cardboard sleeve is in perfect condition. Christopher Robin on the outside, a little bit of extra information on the back. And then on the front, of course, we have the actual artwork that is on the coin, Christopher Robin himself. Inside the sleeve is the Winnie the Pooh box. Slightly disappointing that they're going to, looks like anyway, they're going to keep the same artwork on this box for all of them. I think it would have been a really unique selling point for this series to have different artwork on the boxes, because the boxes in themselves are a really nice piece of art. You know, the Winnie the Pooh artwork that goes into these classic tales and books, that's one of the allures to the series. You know, we're looking at getting this like nostalgia feeling from our childhoods of having Winnie the Pooh, and so the same design on every box, that's going to potentially be a little bit samey and boring. It would be nice to see Christopher Robin on the box. So yeah, it is what it is. Still nice quality though, and then inside we have a little leaflet with everything about Christopher Robin and obviously Winnie the Pooh generally. So you can have a pause and a read of that if you so wish. Which is always nice. I like it when, you know, coins, special coins, proof coins, whatever it might be, have this extra information. Certainly if you're giving it away as a gift or to somebody else who doesn't necessarily know quite so much about Winnie the Pooh or Christopher Robin, it's always a nice extra addition. Certificate of authenticity is in here as well. Vintage of 18,010. Now I did mention in the first coin or first review of the Winnie the Pooh that there was a vintage of 18,010, that perhaps the extra 10 will be used for the what's called the Trial of the Picks, which is a thing in the UK where the Royal Mint takes their coins, circulation, gold, silver, bullion, commemorative, all of that. They take a selection of them and give them to all of the assay masters and coin experts from around the country, and then they put them through the rigours and make sure that they are up to scratch, so to speak, with their purity and production quality. Really interesting. There are still issues in terms of production. But anyway, we'll talk about that in the second part of this video. Inside then we have the Christopher Robin in its Perspex frame. I always like these Perspex frames, especially with the kind of laser etching on the back. If you get them against a kind of a nice sort of darker background, it really does show the wonders of this sort of etching. It's very pretty, very elegant, and I like how it reflects off the sort of edges of the perspex. It's a good way to display and frame your pieces, and it looks good. I like that. That's always been a real positive for me. It just opens quite easily with the little magnets keeping it all together, and then inside you have the 50p in this little capsule with the foam around the side. Unfortunately, that is kind of all the songs and praises that I'm going to sing of this particular coin. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking, well, it doesn't look too bad. But to my eye, there's a little mark down here, a little smudge down here next to sort of the banister, which is not good, not acceptable. And that's definitely on the coin. I have made sure that is definitely on the coin. But the biggest issue that I've found on this particular coin resides on this other side, and it is up there near the P of pence. There is this really great big hole, almost like a ding. Now beyond that, there are a bunch of other little marks all over the reverse side of this coin. You can see, I don't know if they're milk spots or whether they are just like dust particles that have settled on there, but they are certainly on the coin. I have not opened this capsule. I think opening a capsule is always a risky thing on any kind of proof coin. You can kind of see where some of the particles of dust are on the top of the capsule, and then when you move it around, you can see which ones are actually on the coin itself, and there are definitely a bunch of them up here near the Queen's head, and there's also a kind of rather large size one just down here as well. But for me, the biggest issue is this, excuse me, losing my voice, is this big chunky ding / dent that's near that P of 50 pence. And that might not seem like an awful lot. That, I might have oversold that this is a poor quality 50p coin, but to my eyes, that is there. That will never leave, and it's a real disappointment. A proof coin is supposed to be a proof version. It's meant to be the perfect version. It's meant to be the one that is not bullion, is just, you look at the definitions on the Royal Mint's website about proof bullion and brilliant uncirculated coins, and the proof are meant to be the creme de la creme. They're meant to be the ones that are the best, and so to have issues on any proof coin is, in my books, basically borderline unacceptable. I agree that there are going to be issues that might arise on coins after quality control has happened, but there is no way that ding, that hole up here, could have happened at any point in the production process after this coin was encapsulated. There is just no way that happens. So somewhere along the line, the quality control issues have gone. Now, I've gone off on a tangent here talking about quality control. I will just very quickly return to the actual coin itself, the design. The Christopher Robin design here, I think it is quintessential on what Christopher Robin is all about, Winnie the Pooh, and I really like it. It's the better one of the two so far for me, versus Winnie the Pooh, the classic, and this one here. I like the little buzzing bee in the background. Rather interestingly, I did think that the bee's trail was actually a scratch on the coin when I first got it. I was like, oh, there's a really great big scratch there, but no, that's actually part of the design. But there is, of course, the other issues on the coin in terms of production. One other thing I've noticed as well is that on the lip of the coin here on the left-hand side, there does seem to be an elevated kind of lip of the 50p, and that's not on all of them that I've seen. So I don't know whether that is part of the production value of the coin, or whether that's something that's not quite right with that particular die. It certainly, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking in now too close for all of these little errors and issues. But if we return now to the quality side of things, for me, that is an unacceptable proof coin. Now, for a lot of people, it's really quite sad because they might not see that or might not know that. I've been looking at coins for 4.5, 5 years now, and I do look at my coins very closely. I am very fortunate to have this nice fancy camera, and a lot of the time you'll not notice these things until you get really quite close and personal with either a camera or a loupe. And the good thing is that now, of course, most people have really very high quality cameras on just general phones, and you can take high quality macro photographs of coins when you get them. So I would encourage anybody and everybody, whether you're a coin aficionado, a fledgling collector, or just somebody who's bought something that's commemorative that speaks to you, to get your coin out and to have a really close look at it and make sure that if it's a proof coin, it is as perfect as it can be, because these are expensive pieces of silver. We're talking £67.50 per coin, and that is an awful lot of money for what it is essentially about £4 worth of silver. We're talking humongous premiums, and such that any imperfections like this will almost certainly damage any resale value of this in the future. Now, a lot of people won't be buying this for resale, they'll be buying it as a commemorative, and that's fine. And in fact, Mrs. Backyard Bullion said to me when I was telling her about the quality of this coin and that I was going to be looking to make this particular video that, you know, a lot of people won't care. But I think that's wrong. And I think that's part of the problem with this kind of quality control culture, that this coin has slipped through that quality control procedure. Now, I'm not accusing the Royal Mint specifically of going, that coin's got a ding in it. Never mind, let's just sell it anyway, see if somebody doesn't notice it. I'm not saying that they deliberately do that, but they almost do it by, kind of de facto, because the quality control standards are not rigorous enough to catch this coin. Now, we live in a wondrous modern world of very, very, very capable technology, and with the Royal Mint being supposedly the oldest and premier mint in the entire world, one would hope and imagine that there are some form of technology that can look at a coin, can see that there's something on the coin after it's been minted that doesn't look the same as the other perfect example specimen that you've got. Now, it doesn't take very much technology to even do that, just high quality resolution photos with a simple computer algorithm to look at a coin and go, no, look, there's a little mark next to the Queen's hair there, or there's this ding near the P of the 50 pence. You know, that in my book is just something that should be there. You know, there should be something, and you could do it with humans. You could do it, and I granted, you know, 18,000 coins is an awful lot to sort through with a human, but machines can do this, and yet for some reason these kind of coins still slip through the gaps, and that's just not acceptable. Now, there's no little QC sticker. Sometimes on the it's like the wooden boxes with the Queen's Beast ones, I do notice when I open them up there's this tiny little QC sticker in there sometimes, and I kind of wonder that must have been put there by a human, or at least it's been put there by an automated process that's gone through the quality control procedures. And there have been times where you see a coin that's got a QC sticker inside that display unit, and then there's a really great big scratch on it, or a ding or a dent. It's just, it is unacceptable in my opinion, and I think that unfortunately there are going to be a lot of these type of coins out there that are not perfect, that are compromised in some way for the collector's market, and that is only going to hurt the bottom line at the end of the day for the collector. And I have seen, you know, you see these horror stories, and there are quite a few out there of people who get almost sort of sucked into these kind of sets because they think it's fun, they think it's nice, or they get this allure and this illusion that it's going to be something that's valuable, whether it be from the Royal Mint or private mints and private coin sellers. There are a lot of them out there that do this kind of shady tactic of selling something that's supposedly more value than it truly really is, only then at the other end to find out that your coin is worth the metal value. And for a £67.50 coin worth only about £5 in silver, that's a huge liability and potential swing. And of course, this is a market that is, you know, designed at older people, at grandparents, at people with nostalgia, or people with, you know, grandchildren that think this would be a good present for a grandchild. And, you know, that's just, I think, sad in a way that there are coins out there that are like this. Now, the really sad thing is that, and I have experienced this firsthand myself, not on this particular coin, I'll be sending this back for a return, but on the return side of things, these coins that are obviously subpar, you know, substandard, they get sent back to the Royal Mint's return department, quality control return department. Now, with a proof coin, it's a fairly easy, robust process. You just usually get your return or refund pretty promptly, and you know, you have a lot of consumer rights when it comes to these kind of coins, above and beyond what you would for the bullion side of things. If a bullion coin comes to you, or even a BU uncirculated coin comes to you with, you know, major issues, you pretty much don't have a leg to stand on. However, with the proof coins, you do. But the problem is that these coins just get put straight back on the shelves and sent out to another customer. And I have seen, on occasion, I've had it once with myself with a 1/4 ounce Queen's Beast proof. One came to me, not very good condition, sent it back. They were pretty much sold out from the mint, as they always are with these coins. I did get a replacement come directly from the mint, but it was also a really poor standard one with some issues, so I sent it back again. And then they said, sorry, we don't have any more left. So I know for a fact that they'll just recycle these until eventually one sticks and they don't get it returned from customers, which again is questionable. Now, of course, I am hypothesizing here. I am not inside the Royal Mint's kind of production line and, you know, returns department and quality control, but it does seem that that happens. And I have heard many other stories of that happening. So whilst I don't want to sit here and be all high and preachy and say, you know, this tiny little speck of a dent is not acceptable, and eventually somebody's going to have this particular coin, it's a good chance that it might happen. And, you know, in my opinion, if the Royal Mint, and, you know, I'm talking a lot about the Royal Mint because this coin is Royal Mint, but there are other mints out there in the world that have issues that also let out coins which are less than perfect. But if these mints, and the Royal Mint specifically, keep on doing this and keep sending out these returns which are less than perfect, and people don't mention them, people don't moan about them, people don't talk about them, then there is no incentive for the Royal Mint to improve. But you would have thought that surely the Royal Mint would gain a lot more from sorting these problems out than actually the cost of sorting them out in the first place. You know, there are going to be people that will... for me, I said at the start of this video, it's a bitter disappointment. It really is, because if now... I'm going to give them one more try. If I don't get another good coin from this series, when I return this, I'm not going to continue the series, because I don't want to take the risk of having £67.50, £5 worth silver coins that are not perfect, because ultimately these are a little luxury investment for us. We are going to enjoy them whilst we have them, but one day I'd like to either be able to sell them and get some money back, or gift them to somebody. And I don't want to gift somebody a coin which is less than perfect. That's not how I work. If I'm going to do something like, if I'm going to gift them something, I want to make sure it's perfect. And if I can't guarantee that something's perfect, I don't really want to gift it to somebody. And that's a real shame. So my message here is that this particular 50p coin has issues, but it's just not acceptable. I do think that the Royal Mint has a responsibility in the proof side of things. We talked about milk spotting on bullion coins last week, and that's a different kettle of fish. You've got bullion grade production lines, and that's going to have different ways of working. Fine, issues are going to arise. There's going to be coins with dings and dents. They're stored differently. They're manufactured differently. That's kind of part and parcel of the nature of bullion. But proof is meant to be different. Proof is billed as different. You pay your premiums on a proof coin because of that quality guarantee. And at the moment, I don't have the faith that the Royal Mint can guarantee that quality. Now, in a certain way, they do guarantee the quality because they, as I said, do offer collectors returns and replacements on these. But there are coins, there are editions of things that come out from the Royal Mint which have such a tiny mintage and that sell out within minutes, that if you do get a compromised coin, the chances of you actually getting what you wanted in the first place is not great. And as I said, I've had probably about a third of all of my proof coins from the Royal Mint turn up with issues, and never had an issue returning or replacing them, but the fact that there's an issue there is frustrating and annoying and quite frankly unacceptable. So that's my thoughts on the subject. I have rambled here and I'm sorry. But I do want to tell it as I see it, and I do think that the Royal Mint has, questions to answer on this, and hopefully they'll watch this video and understand it as constructive criticism, not just as me moaning. I could have been a lot, I could have been a lot more harsh. I could have said, I could have effed and blinded and done all this, and I do think that this message is important to get out there, and I hope that this video does reach far and wide, and the Royal Mint sees it. I know that the Royal Mint bullion side of things, I'm on their radar, so to speak, and they've watched some of my videos, but the bullion and proof departments are separate. So hopefully the proof departments will see this and they'll recognise that there are unacceptable things going on in this particular coin and others as well. And I've seen quite a lot of people talking about recent releases that they've had not being perfect as well. So anyway, what would be interesting is that, of course, if we are going to ask the Royal Mint to address this issue and talk about it, to give them feedback. And in the Milky Coin video that I put out, there was an awful lot of you that were talking about your own experiences of having received milky, damaged, not so good coins from the Royal Mint. So please comment down below with your experiences of what you've had from the Royal Mint that's not been very good. It's only done as constructive criticism. So if you're just going to F and blind at the Royal Mint, that doesn't yield any constructive criticism. So just let us know what issues you've had and what you think about them in a polite, constructive, criticising way. I think that would be quite interesting to see the insights down in the comment section, and hopefully as and when somebody from the Royal Mint watches this, they can take note of that and account for those down in that comment section. Otherwise, That's it from me. As I said, bit of a rant, bit of a rave, bit of a ramble. Big shout out to my BYB Rambling Society members if you've been watching to minute, gosh, we're at minute 20 now. I've really gone on today. If you've been watching all the way to minute 20 of this video, give us a thumbs up and a shout out down in the comments. Let us know that you're a Rambling Society member. I always appreciate it, and I always get a bit of a giggle from it too. Otherwise, that's it from me. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and hit the alarm bell if you want to get notifications. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend. See you on the next video. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.